up, guys? Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. Today we're going to talk about how to fill up those shirt sleeves, and before you think we're talking all biceps here, especially me because I tend to get all the attention on the front of the arms, guys, we have to realize there's something on the underside of the arm too that's just as important, if not more important, because a lot of times it goes underdeveloped or at least under-targeted in the right way. Guys, if you want to fill those shirt sleeves, we're talking about this hanging part of the tricep here, the part that really fills the sleeves up. That hanging part we're talking about is actually one of the heads of the tricep, and we can somewhat preferentially hit it. Yes, when you extend your elbow, all your triceps are going to fire, but there's a couple things that we can do to preferentially hit the long head of the tricep, the meaty part on the inside here of the elbow that you see in through here. In order to get that area, guys, you have one distinct advantage based on our own physiology, and that is the only one of the heads of the triceps that crosses the shoulder joint. So we can sort of manipulate and favorably hit that area of the triceps by what we do in our exercises. A lot of guys will tell you, you want to make sure that in order to hit the long head of your tricep, that you put the muscle in a stretched position when you train it. So we know that one of the best ways to do this is the first exercise that I'm showing you here. This is the overhead dumbbell tricep extension. And you can see that by placing my arms up and over my head, elbows pointed up towards the sky as much as I can. Yes, if you have shoulder issues, labral issues, you could have some issues doing this. But if you have healthy shoulders and your arms can get up as high as you can start to target the triceps very effectively here, notably that long head of the tricep, because we're putting that on stretch from the get-go. Now, I like to take that a step further, and I've showed you guys before one of my favorite ways that we can target that, and this will be exercise number 2 for you. That's the lying tricep stretch extension. So when I get down here, it looks like a typical nose breaker, but I can get a little bit more stretch in my tricep by allowing the dumbbells, preferably for me I like the dumbbells because they don't get in the way of the bench, to allow those dumbbells to go back as far as they can to get that extra stretch. Again, if you flex your shoulder, we know that the long head of the tricep will tend to want to adduct and extend the arm. So if that's the job, you want to go the opposite way. You want to get that thing flexed away from you. And we could do that here effectively with that dumbbell tricep extension on stretch. So that's where most people end their tricep long head attack. And I can tell you right now why. I'm asking you why. Why? Because if you really want to target that, guys, what happened to training the muscle into its contraction as well? You don't just work muscles on stretch, that's one effective way to do it, but you also have to make sure that you train a muscle into contraction. And as I just told you, the job of the long head of the tricep is, yes, to straighten the elbow, but when it straightens the elbow, it also adducts the arm. It brings the arm in tight to the side, and it also will extend the arm behind the body. That's why when you train your back, you might have often asked yourself sometimes, why after doing a lot of rows, right? High rows or whatever type of row you're doing, do you start to get soreness in your triceps here? Because it is a weak extender of the elbow, of the upper arm. So in order to fully attack that, guys, we've got 2 other options that would complete our shirt sleeve stretching workout here, and that is the first one I'm going to show you here. This, guys, is what I call the Triceps Express. Okay, so we're extending the elbow as you see. But we're also getting our elbows down and back. Okay, trying to keep them as tight as we can to our sides. You can see right off the bat that inner portion of the tricep, that thicker, meatier area. The area responsible for most of the size, and especially, as I said, the hang underneath the arm here. That's getting worked very well on this exercise. But then we want to take it up even another notch. As we do here, guys, with ATHLEAN-X, we want to try to combine movements and make the ultimate movement. And I think we've got one of those options right here. This is our OBB rolling extension. Olympic barbell is what that's short for. And you can see as I set up the barbell here, you know I'm a big fan of the bodyweight versions of our tricep work. And we're getting a great version here. Yeah, we're using an Olympic barbell, but it's a bodyweight exercise. That's the resistance. And as we roll out, we're able to get that extension onto the triceps. We're able to get those arms up overhead as much as we can. And then as we pull back and in, now we can get them, that adduction of the arm as we roll over the top and complete the movement. So you get that finishing contraction that we're missing on the strictly overhead movements. So watch again one more time. I'll roll all the way out. Again, get the stretch, and as I come back in, I'm really getting that contraction again in the work, the full work of that long head of the triceps as I adduct and pull down. So there you have it, guys, putting the science back in strength yet again to show you 4 exercises that you can do to start tearing through those t-shirts from the bottom up, right? We got to start working on those triceps if you want to start filling up those shirt sleeves. And guys, as I say, we got to put the science back in strength if we're going to do it. We got to do that all the time, as a matter of fact, every time we hit the gym. And that's what we bring you here at ATHLEAN-X. As a matter of fact, if you want to start putting the science back in strength for all of your workouts so that you can see faster results because you're training your muscles the way they're meant to be trained, then I say, guys, be sure to head over to ATHLEAN-X.com, grab our 90-day training program, let me coach you day by day for 90 days. I promise you, I'll get you where you need to be. In the meantime, if you found this video helpful, leave your comments below. Whatever else you'd like to see, I'm here to make the videos for you, so let me know what it is, and we'll be sure to cover those in one of our 3 weekly videos. And if you found it helpful, as always, guys, just leave me a thumbs up below. All right, I'll see you guys back here again in just a couple days.